Today, yesterday we went over the metric units, right? So we were working with the stairs, right? So we're using metric units. Does anyone have any questions before we move on to the customary measures? Does anyone have any questions on how we did the stairs? Or anyway, if we go up, just as for review, if we go up the steps, are we dividing or multiplying? If we go down the stairs, what are we doing?
Multiplying.
What are we always going to put after division and multiplication sign, Jonah?
A 1.
Okay, and how do we know how many zeros go after that 1?
How many times go up or down?
Good. If we go up 2 times, it would be 2 zeros, right?
Yeah.
If we go down 3 times, it would be 3 zeros, right?
Yeah.
So does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
All right, so today, I want everyone to turn their papers over to the table of measures on the back. And today we're going to be working with customary measures. These are like the measures that the United States use. So like yards, feet, cups, quarts, ounces, pounds. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
All right. So let's look at number 1 in our teamwork. Let's do some examples. First, does everyone remember how in the introduction on Friday we set up ratios, right?
Yeah.
Now we had to make sure that our units lined up on our ratios, right?
Yes.
So that's what we're going to be doing today to solve these conversions. So, everyone, let's look at number 1. It says, Southside Elementary's basketball court is 16 yards wide. How many inches wide is their basketball court? So, they give it to us in yards, right? We want to know how wide it is in inches. So, I want everyone to look at their customary measures. What ratio in the length box has inches and yards in it? See now.
1 yard equals 36 inches.
Good. So 1 yard . 1 yard is 36 inches, right? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set up that ratio. We're going to use that ratio to solve. So we're going to set up 1 yard equals 36 inches, correct? Remember I said we got to make sure that we write down our units. Because when we set up our ratio before we cross multiply and divide like we did last week, we got to line up our units. So, someone raise their hand and tell me what we know. What did they give us in the problem?
That the Southside Elementary basketball court is 16 yards wide.
Good. It is 16 yards wide. So, in my ratio that I'm going to put next to it, I'm going to put 16 on the top or the bottom. If it's 16, top, because we want to make sure we line up our units, correct?
Yes.
All right, so let's put 16 on top. Now, what are we going to do? Once we do this, we're going to cross multiply and divide, right?
Yes.
So everyone, as a group, cross multiply and divide, talk about it, and come up with an answer and put it on your whiteboards.
16 yards, 36. Yeah.
Would be 576.
Alright, have a thumbs up when you're done, and then I'll tell you guys to raise your whiteboards at once. Alright, everyone raise their whiteboards. Good. It should be 576 inches. Good. Good. So, we found the ratio that had yards and inches in it. When it was 1 yard for 36 inches. We knew that that the court was 16 yards wide. That's what's given to us. So we set up a ratio, cross multiply and divide, to find it in inches. That makes sense to everyone. Thumbs up if everyone understands. Alright, so let's look at number 3 now. Let's do one more together, and I'll let you guys work on one as a group. So, sometimes when you're doing these,